here we are. Maybe. I think so.
Are we here?
Now we are. Hello. Oh, it's a 10 seconds. Sorry, guys. Welcome to our Tuesday night stream where we play Monster of the Week and tell scary stories and almost die. Most of the time. It just happens.
It's not even almost sometimes.
I mean, like, you just straight up die.
I think at this point we've had to have two hand of God. Like, no, you can't die right now. Hello, Lord of the Rings fan. So we are going to do our normal show. It might be a slightly shorter show today. And then we have some more giveaways for the break. So if you are watching us live, be sure to be here on the break and say hello so that we can give you a comic book.
Free things, y'all. Who doesn't like free?
And then stick around and give Elle your contact information.
Yes, please.
If you win. But yeah, I think that's all the housekeeping stuff we've got for right now. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say?
We are without Dan tonight. We miss him. Just got pulled away at the last minute. Be well, bud. We'll see you next week. And
Cool. I think that's it. Without further ado, the Horror Beyond Sight, episode 24. We're on episode 24, guys.
24. That's wild.
And this season, only looking to go about 32. So
home stretch, guys. Home stretch.
Yeah.
Don't miss episodes anymore. Okay.
All right. Where last we left our intrepid heroes, they had been given informed of a task from the last person that they wanted to receive it from. They were to retrieve a text, a tome, a book from one of the members of Jason Grayson's circle of sorcerers who had stolen it from him. They only have the title to go on, plus their relationship to this whole overarching mystery that's coming to a head. The book is entitled The Way, and it is of immediate pressing concern, as doing a couple solids for Jason back was what he conditioned a substantial amount of his help getting everybody healthy and psychically intact on.
It's not a couple of solids. We're stuck in cahoots with him indefinitely. There was no ending date because we are terrible at negotiating.
Tomato. Couple of solids and servitude.
By we, she
I
means.
just don't feel like it's fair. He's playing the situation. He's got the role of power. It's just not fair.
Mike was busy being dead.
Mike
was busy being dead. Mike would have been like, guys.
Terrible idea. Instead, he was more like,
put the decision on Edith and Rose. It's not fair.
And we put the decision all on Rose because it would be her boyfriend who would die. So,
and Mike and our adopted friend dad. I don't know what he wants to be called.
That's sweet.
Big brother.
There we go.
He's like, I don't need kids. We'll go with big brother. I don't need college age children.
Side story, I once had a friend who introduced all of us to her other friend. She introduced him to us as Uncle So-and-so. And she'd been talking about him as Uncle So-and-so for a real long time. And we didn't know that he didn't know that she called him Uncle So-and-so. And it came out later that night, and he was real upset about it. And we were all like,
all right. Well,
okay.
Don't call people uncle who don't want to be called uncle, y'all. Is the lesson you can take from that random, tenuously related aside. That's a title that you've got to earn. That's a title that you have to be given, and it has to be consensual. So no random uncles. Well, without further ado, our group has a smashed to hell haven to deal with. They are down to one car, a college student starter sedan, and have a book to find. What are you guys doing? This next part gets pretty open-ended.
Do we have the sedan, or do we have the limo that
Chris
Thomas.
Warren, y'all went and got the car, but I might be. It was we
have
last
the
night to like a week ago.
The
So
other part not messed up. The limo is pretty wrecked.
jacked. Yeah, luckily we can assume it had pretty good insurance, but at one point or another, you're probably going to want to give that back because one or more of you might be wanted for Grand Theft Auto. Just
Meaning
adding,
Tom.
just laying out a sketch of,
Regular Tom is wanted for Grand Theft Auto.
among other things. Y'all don't even know what he gets up to in private.
Michael is texting his contacts at the church, if he hasn't already done this, so they can strip the van of, the armory and all the other things in
Oh,
there.
they are all over it. They are all over that. That is a high priority task right there.
Could they also get us another van?
Yeah, but we'll get another van. But it's going to take a little while, I think, to get it to where the other van was. It's a special order. Ford doesn't just make
I mean,
Deathmobile
the
vans.
doesn't just have special order vampire fighting vans like at its beck and call. They have you on payroll.
I love how that was the closest Michael ever gets to emotional. Like it was a special van, one of a kind van. Like, it's not just replaceable, okay?
It's like the 18 van,
It wasn't replaceable. You don't just take precious things and drive them into bad guys.
Actually, I 100% supported that call. I thought it was a good call.
Thank you. I thought it was a call 2 at the time. Had I not rolled a 1, we would have been fine.
That would have definitely anything other than snake eyes would have definitely been a better outcome there for you. Well, right on. Yeah, no, field stripping the van is something that your contacts do as an extremely high priority thing on account of they want to get ahead of the comical but dangerous scene that would result if some of the Joe Schmo cops from the WPD were to be like, "Hey, yo, Tim, what's going on over here?" "I don't know, Bob, but we got here a cleaning van stocked full of enough military-grade weaponry to overthrow a small banana republic. I'll tell you what. You need to get ahead of that."
Okay, so I would imagine Edith is maybe at this point back at the house. Rory left in a huff at the end of the last episode because he was real mad at what we did, which makes lots of sense. So she's probably trying to coach him out of his coin, and he's like, "No, go away."
I figure it's either that, off on his own to ponder and ruminate as to the decisions in life that have got him to where he is right now. Or he might be, trying to maybe work some of his new contacts in the literary world, find out stuff about this book.
Michael's trying to check out the schedule for this guest lecture when he's going to, because our target is guest lecturing at Fulton University in a little bit, right?
He does his events on weekends. It's a Thursday, so he's got one coming up in about 2 days. Probably sold out. There's not a huge aftermarket for tickets, but there's probably a pretty good chance if you show up on the night of, you'd be able to get a slot. Things like that typically have massive no-shows.
What are the odds I would know who's working security for the event?
I'll let you roll 2d6. No bonuses, no negatives. Just see
6.
what's up.
Just 6.
We'll say decent. 50-50. Depends on who's working and what company they're with.
Okay.
Non-zero, though.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go to the girls' house, ask them, since they know they're university students here. So, who would be? What is this guy? How does a wizard get a job? Guest lecturing at university. But what is his? Because he doesn't tell people he's, a wizard working with someone trying to destroy the world. What is his? What is he telling people?
Well, I mean, Felton University is like the best school in the country for folklore and history of folklore and all of that stuff, like alternative religious studies and all that stuff. So he probably just comes off as an anthropologist. Like looking him up, he's a professor of what? Anthropology and alternative history?
He's a professor of archaeology with a specialization in rare texts and the preservation and restoration of books made with ancient papers.
So he is a museum guy.
Eclectic.
And he doesn't have to tell anybody that he thinks these books are real.
Yeah, he
Or
just-
he does. Let's be real. All of his students probably just laugh it off.
Y'all gonna do any research into him?
Yes, I'm doing it right now. I've pulled him up. That's how I found out that he was the professor.
Everybody roll to investigate a mystery.
Oops, it's the wrong side.
Oh my goodness. 7.
Okay.
9.
Okay.
10.
Okay. So, the 7 and the 9, I'll give you some information, and Chloe gets to ask questions.
Okay.
A question, frankly. So what you guys turn up, just through your various methods of research, what's public is Fred Power comes from a very, very rich family, and the only real weakness or inaccessibility to that wealth is dilution. Meaning he comes from a family whose trust, it can be pretty well assumed, is in the billions, but because there are like 80 kids the trust has to take care of, what it amounts to in practice is a pretty nice living in the lap of luxury. Like dilettante, but not like tech entrepreneur.
He's not Bezos.
Correct. His family on paper is, like I won't say on that tier, even the tier below it, but billionaires. But you would have sophisticated enough research tools to realize, after digging into a little bit, that dilution, just the sheer number of people the trust has to take care of, means they're all multimillionaires. That family has no single billionaire left in it since his grandfather died. And you can also, just by kind of looking back around, especially you, Rose, now that you kind of know what to look for and you've been observant this whole time, you can tell that magic is almost certainly the family trade. Every relative this guy has had going back as long as you can see has been a little bit weird, a lot of bit rich. Over the course of history, there's a lot of different ties and things to various occult and secret societies. There was a scandal in the early 18th century in Victorian England where one of his great uncles joined a society of like worshipers of this ancient, unnameable, unspeakable horror, but did it as a joke. It looks like as a dare for his university buddies that he ended up publishing in his satirical comic strip. And Chloe, on top of that, you have give the floor to ask any one question.
I would like to look up his last, let's just say his last 6 months of tours.
Okay. Find out what?
To see where he's been, and if there have been any weird, unexplained crimes. Like, are there corpses without any blood showing up, or are there bodies that have just liquefied, or what is he gonna hit us with? That's what I'm trying to find out.
You try. So you look at his tour is public. First, you're smart enough to check whether or not he showed to all his dates, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he made 10 out of 11, but it's not like him to miss stuff.
Okay.
So there's the 10 out of 11, not 11 out of 11 is something. And then you cross-reference those dates, which are pretty much just, from the middle of the country around Kansas, Colorado, Utah, Arizona of sorts, coming west to the coast into Southern California and just doing sort of a tour on up through the coastal universities and ending here because Washington is actually his home base, but he lives in Seattle. Is not a Wellport guy. But this is the last university he's visiting on this tour before he's going home. As for crimes that you're trying to cross-reference to his appearance, way sparser than you would think. Crime is just the weird crime anyway, is just sort of up globally, not even just in Wellport or Washington or in the United States. It's just been a bad year for inexplicable things and cold cases. But you can only really find one thing that you think you could even reasonably tie to his presence, and that is there was at the second date in his tour, the night of his final lecture before he moved on, there was a murder in an off-campus apartment where a professor who, as far as you can tell, was actually one of Mr. Power's friends and sort of peers and colleagues, was found later that week very, very dead for causes that were difficult to identify. And as far as you can tell, no investigation, at least that made it into print in like a local newspaper or something, ever really squared that circle.
How did it was just like he's dead, like cardiac arrest?
Died of inexplicable causes. Cause of death still under investigation, and for the life of you, you can't find really any update.
Gotcha.
But some local news agencies are a lot better at following up on that stuff than others. And again, that's what you would call probably that broad umbrella weird crime, and it's a rough year for that nationwide.
Who can I ask? Who was this friend?
A professor of anthropology and archaeology at the second university he traveled to.
Working on what?
Didn't appear to really be working on anything. Was sort of in between things. Appeared to be taking a sabbatical, but taking a sabbatical at home means usually writing some articles and taking some time off. Looked like an older dude.
Can I Google him for what articles he's got published?
I'll let you roll investigate again.
Ooh, I rolled a 12, so that's a 13.
Okay, I will let you ask 2 questions about him.
What was he? Do I have to ask them at the same time, or can I ask one and then the other?
You can, of course, ask one and then the other.
Oh, well, not of course, but what exactly was he doing his current research on?
What was he working on when he died?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will tell you. That is not on this page of notes, but I will tell you as soon as I find it.
In case you guys were wondering, DM is one of those game masters who has like written basically a novel just in case we ask questions like this.
Oh yeah, my season Bible for Wellport season 1 is currently 417 pages.
So when we do actually novelize this campaign, you guys, there's going to be more stuff to discover.
Stay tuned. All right. So he was working on investigating breakaway cults in sort of revolutionary era America, which obscure and, at least to appearances, new religions popped up during what very much was the Age of Reason, where the occult was just starting to get a little bit fashionable again. And what type of people it drew, what type of societies it drew. He's pretty famous for studying breakaway cults in native cultures because they're pretty rare in native cultures of that era. But he's also known for writing sort of the seminal text on sort of revolutionary era American gentry occult societies. His thesis for the book was who was the American Aleister Crowley, and he worked backwards from there. And he published that about 2 years ago.
Can I get his name just so I can have a name for this character notes? Can
Mm-hmm.
that not count as my question?
Of course.
Okay.
Kevin Snelker. Snelker.
All right, Professor Kevin. Okay, second question. Can I get input from the group, or do I have to do this?
Of course you can. Yep.
It's
As long as you guys are not what's called in the fire or in the action, you are allowed to collaborate as players on investigation.
I'm thinking if there was any evidence if he was part of any of these weird cults, like actively part of any of them.
What would really interest me is knowing why Power killed him. I don't know how to ask that.
Well, but we don't know. We don't know. I mean,
We're assuming. I'm assuming. Power
assuming that
killed
he
him.
did.
Yeah, but something he was assuming he was murdered seems like a pretty good assumption. Why was he murdered? What we know what he's working on. I figured how to.
Yeah, I think either of those are good. I mean, I like the evidence of him being in a cult more so because then we can kind of research who might have been a part of that more. But I don't think either question's terrible.
Is why he killed him a thing we could even find out online?
You cannot ask what's called a root question. You can get a root answer, but you have to ask it in a way that would be something you would be able to find. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you could find evidence of any cults he was active in, or
okay, let's cross-reference any evidence of cults that they were both active in.
You find, to your slight surprise, evidence of the exact opposite. Snelker is a vocal agnostic, very, very loud and proud participant in that sort of subculture on social media. You can actually tell, really, all of you, just for looking at it for 10 minutes, that a big part of his interest in this topic is the fascination of an outsider. But whereas some look to insult and demean and troll, he genuinely wanted to understand what he calls divergent and uncommon religious thought. Whereas there's no evidence of not just Fred Power, but any of the young Powers getting into sort of the stuff that their parents and grandparents were famous for getting into, just because it's gauche and embarrassing. In fact, one of Power's parents, his stepfather, embarrassed his entire family unit something like 20 or 30 years ago by being caught doing some sort of strange, sexy ritual by moonlight, shall we say, where he was not careful enough about who was photographing and who was witnessing him there. And Fred has actually spoken numerous times about how the only thing that has ever held my family back with all its resources, with the fact that every single member of his family has a higher degree, like masters at minimum. The only thing that's ever really held them back for 200 years is the fact they keep getting their wealth, their intellectual resources, and themselves and their reputations involved in what he calls some pretty strange shit.
So his family is involved potentially with Jason or that stuff.
well, he's obviously involved with Jason, but he wouldn't want anyone to know that. If Snelker figured that out, he would be a liability.
That is not a bad theory, based on what you have uncovered so far. So that is not a bad theory. You can't say that the evidence put together points directly at it, but it's colorable.
Because we know Power believes in this stuff. He's helping Jason Grayson bring this crazy cult to fruition. So it's not like he doesn't believe in it in the sense that he wants to become part of the cult. He knows the cult is real. He knows the power is real.
Is Aiden around
You can look.
to call?
You can call him. He does not answer, but he texts you back later saying, "Can't talk. What up?"
Can't talk what?
What up? Who is this?
You give professors a bad name. You've got to be way more formal than that. It's Edith. Do you know anybody named Kevin Snelker or Fred Power? Completely unrelated to the Scooby Gang. Fred Power. Also, glad to hear you're alive. Boom. That was my-
He-
Like
he
add
texts
2 or
back-
3 emojis.
No.
He texts back, thanks, Scarface, upside down smiley face. Power's a touring lecturer. I know he's coming through town. Haven't heard the other name.
So Powers is somebody your brother wants dead. Why would he want your brother?
Don't text that.
Why?
That leaves. It never goes away.
Oh,
Anything you text is always out there.
That is very correct.
okay. I didn't send that one.
You erase it off your phone.
Delete, delete, delete. You happy now?
Hmm.
It's like define.
We're not.
not.
We are. We are. I'm not used to being the bad guy.
You're not the bad guy. Now, you said he missed one of his 11 dates.
Rose.
Where and when was that?
Where and when was what?
The date that Power missed.
Was the last one.
You missed me.
A
Where,
small college in Oregon. His very last appearance, he missed it.
did that date line up? Does that date line up with anything that we were doing?
The timeline is thereabouts when the original island crap was happening, but not like a perfect alignment.
Okay, cool.
But-
So it would also be a reasonable inference to be like he was there because we also know he was there. Okay.
Trying to summon a deity through the multiverse might mess up your travel plans.
Okay. Well, what if we go to the library and talk to one of our librarian friends and see if they I mean, honestly,
You
We
could
have-
try calling the police where Snelker was murdered. Tell them
You probably could.
well, it might be easier if one of you said, you're a newspaper reporter for a college newspaper.
I'm going to go ahead and say that you know how to talk to cops. Also, I sound like a girl. I'm pretty sure they'll take you seriously and might actually tell you more.
I was gonna say I
Maybe
think
they
there
also
was-
might be more guarded. If you
I
come
don't know,
across
I
as a
feel-
ditzy college girl, they might be willing to. They might not be holding your face close to the vest. I don't know.
Okay, well,
Rose?
then Rose should make that call.
I'm happy to give it a try, but I really think they'd be more likely to talk to you, Mike. A reporter who wants to talk about a gruesome murder, or a fellow cop who wants to talk about a gruesome murder.
Yeah, if I tell them I'm not, if they know I'm a private eye, they're less likely to talk to me. I tell them we're working
Right.
with the Wellport PD.
What if you got your PD cop friend to call them for you?
That's a great plan.
We can have DM make a conversation with himself.
He does owe you a favor.
All right, I'm going to call Lieutenant Dalton.
Or at least make the introduction, and then you can talk to him, and we don't have to have DM have a conversation with himself.
He can get back to us.
Both
with
the Dalton.
Hey, Lieutenant Dalton, this is Michael Connor. Hoping you can help me out.
Hoping I can help you out. Good Lord, you know what kind of friggin' day it's been?
Well, what's been going on?
I have had what is being sold to me as a gas leak in a residential neighborhood that I'm pretty sure was not that. I've got a whole lot of people unconscious, not waking up. And, oh, by the way, some kind of like drive-by highway high-speed chase on the highway. And I have found no permits for filming any blockbuster movies over here. It was not Vin and Dwayne. It was something else.
Now I'm having a brain block here. Does Michael remember why people aren't waking up, or was I dead for that?
Yeah,
No.
they
You were
got
there.
drained. But yes, you were kind of
Oh.
out for that explanation.
Yeah, this was from our house when Murder Thomas showed up at our house and
I know we wrecked
started
the car.
sucking.
Oh
people-
yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then it was us in the high speed chase getting.
Yeah, I remember that part.
trying to get back to the Haven.
In the getaway.
That was
limo,
all
so
us.
that's the
It was
best
all us.
part.
It was us.
Well, this is kind of related to that in a roundabout way, but there's an unsolved murder I'm trying to get some information on. I was hoping if you call the police there about this murdered professor, they still don't know what the cause of death was. But you can give me that. Obviously, they're keeping it pretty close to the vest. They're not telling much to the newspapers or the news. If you can get information out of them and just tell me what they have, it would help me out, and we can maybe make some headway here with some of the weirdness going on in Wellport.
I'll tell you what, man. I don't know what you know, so I'm not friggin' sure whether or not I can conduct an investigation for you. But let me tell you what. How about I make an introduction? I'll introduce you as my uniform, get you the credibility, leave you on the line with the guy, huh?
That sounds great.
That should go far enough, and you can ask me your own questions. I wouldn't want to miss something or, not have it be productive. You should know in these conversations, alarm bells go off if you have to call back.
Okay,
All right?
sounds good. All right,
So
sounds great.
You good to go now? I mean, I got nothing to do. I'm on night. I got a mountain of paperwork so friggin' big it's taller than I am.
All right, yeah, I'm free right now, so
Patches it in. Got on the other end, like, hello, like introduces himself, and Detective Dalton introduces himself, makes just like a little bit of small talk and says, "Hey, listen, we're looking for some information over there about one of your cold case files that your department was working on just a little bit ago. I read some newspaper reports, and it bears a little bit of similarity to something that we've been dealing with over here. I've got my uniform officer on the line here, my beat investigator, Mike. Say hi, Mike.
hey, it's Michael Connor. How you doing?
Mike over here is helping me put this case file together, and I was hoping he could pick your brain because your journos down there have not followed up on the story at all. He was telling me, and I'm sure there's stuff in there you didn't quite publish, but I was hoping we could put our heads together. Well, yeah, sure. Nope, understood. Always happy to help someone else behind the tin. Mike, nice to meet you.
Nice being you.
My name's Detective Leonard, and I'm homicide down here. What can I do for you? I'm sorry to hear that you've got another whatever the heck this is.
We get all kinds down here. Maybe if I'm hoping if what we learn, maybe we can help you clear it. But you just tell us what you got. And so this Professor Snelker was found dead.
Oh, Kevin.
In his apartment, or
he owned Kevin owned the townhouse sort of by the college. He'd been dead for 4 or 5 days when we finally found him. Hadn't showed up to teach a class all week. They did a wellness check, and what they found was not pleasant.
what exactly did they find?
Sitting in his lazy boy chair, gripping the armrest so hard his fingertips had fractured, and his eyes were wide open, but they had been eaten out of his skull. And his mouth was wide open like he'd been screaming. It was set because of the rigor mortis, but he had no tongue. It was horrifying, and not a drop of blood, man. Not in the crime scene, not in the apartment, but get this, not in the victim either. But if we think like some kind of weird vampire copycat, because that's been going around lately, we couldn't find hide nor hair of a single puncture wound. Not one. After death, had they used an IV to drain him, it would have left some kind of indicated bruising. But his body was pristine apart from, God, that face. Oh.
Did the you said the eyes and tongue had been eaten out?
Removed in some way. Very
Is it-
cleanly. Not a whole lot of, oh God, how do you even say it? Residual tissue, flesh. I don't know, man. It makes me sick to think about it. It was clean. It's like someone did it with a melon baller and cleaned up after themselves.
Was there any? Could you tell the size of the instrument used, or was it too small? Was there any
That's
sort of?
just it, man. I can't find any indication of any instrument. None. There's no lateral bruising. There's no obvious points of entry. There's no additional damage to the walls of the cavity, not to his soft palate, not to his ocular walls. And this is going to sound absolutely nuts, but understand I'm just trying to paint a picture for you here, right? It's like someone just snapped his fingers and that shit was gone.
What about the ears? Were they
Intact.
inner ears even? Did you ever check that?
Yeah. Here's the other thing that freaking crazy. Autopsy finds nothing other than the probable, but we can't nail it down enough to give official comment, right? We don't want a false police report being used in like a wrongful death suit.
Right.
Apparently, we would guess that the cause of death, 51% chance it was cardiac arrest from shock. Which, I mean, if someone was extracting surgically your eyes and tongue without anesthetic and you were in your 60s, it stands to reason, right?
Right.
I mean, I didn't find that to be too controversial finding.
I like tug on Mike's shoulder. I'm like, ask him what he was doing that day. Like, aside from being dismembered.
Do you know what Professor Snooker's schedule was that day?
Oh yeah, he was supposed to not kick off, but start. He was hosting. There was some sort of tour of academics like him. They were talking about reconstructing histories of secret societies. And the reason I know this is because I'm a bit of a cult buff myself. We have a big problem with that down here in the desert. And I've followed Kevin's research for a long time. I attend a lot of his lectures, and he used to consult with the PD, man. We brought him in on all kinds of cult murders, and he was invaluable, and he never took a cent. In fact, he'd often donate money to the victims' families. I was a huge fan of the guy, and he was hosting a whole bunch of people like him. And one of the things that had in common is like 2/3 of these academic types were all parts of his foundation, right, to raise money and support victims of occult and cult-related homicide. Because believe it or not, there's a huge gap in nonprofits about something that specific. Wild, right? And yeah, he was supposed to kick it off over there at Desert College, and he didn't show. So his buddy hosted the event, gave the lecture, gave the whole panel, and ran the whole thing by himself. And thought it was odd, but when he called us that night, he said it could be because he was drinking, but asked us to look at it. But we don't typically look at people unless they've been missing for 24 hours. And Kev was no stranger to the bottle.
What was his friend's name?
Anywhere.
What was his friend's name?
That's one. Frederick Power, out of not where you're at, Mike,
Yeah.
Washington. Looks like a Bellevue guy.
Yeah.
Blue Blood. Let me tell you what, Blue Blood, if I've ever seen one, but seemed like a pretty solid dude, and his philanthropy is. We looked into it. He's kind of bankrolling the entire foundation, or was. I don't really know what happened to it after Kevin died, to be honest. I should look into that. That would be crushing. They did a lot of good work.
What's that?
Did you say the foundation disappeared?
He's not sure. So, do you know how much money the foundation had?
Oh man, they high six figures, low seven. They were raking it in. It was listen, this whole true crime thing sort of sweeping the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's another side to it, right? There's the fans and the journos who make the products and the podcasts and documentaries. But there's also the investigators, the ex-cops, the current cops, the academics, the forensic technicians who aren't interested in being celebrities and who are uneasy with the commodification of brutal, unexplainable murder. And those folks, turns out, I didn't know this until I made detective, they put their money where their mouth is. The foundation was just one of like a dozen shadow networks donating to victims' compensation funds, relocation expenses for people in informal witness protection, and even in privately funding grants for forensic studies at local colleges. It's a big business. And this Frederick Power guy, we looked into him briefly just because it was ostensibly the only guy would have had contact with Kevin on the night of his death. And dude's tax deductions for this stuff were a mile long, man, millions of dollars a year. And when we kind of had death timed, his alibi is immaculate. He was on stage in front of 300 witnesses giving a lecture about carbon dating diaries or something like that. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Did you find any evidence of what Professor Snooker was working on at the time of his death? Either backups or anything else?
Other than the lecture tour?
Yeah, I understand he was taking like a sabbatical and doing some personal.
He just finished writing some book. I know that. And he was consulting with, God, I want to say the FBI, but I don't remember. It was months ago. He was consulting with some law enforcement body on how to track down stolen texts aftermarket, right? Because the hardest part about recovering a stolen book after it's been stolen is once it's sold on the black market, every subsequent time it changes hands, it becomes harder to ID, harder to run down. But he had some savvy in, I guess, obtaining illicit text on the black market. Professors these days getting more and more like Indiana Jones all the time, man. And he was doing some sort of consulting expert report for somebody on how to get some back.
Do you know if he had any grad students who were close to him?
That, and in that area, his reputation was pretty poor. He's known to be pretty rough on adjuncts and TAs. We looked around because we thought like, hey, right, maybe an underpaid adjunct or admin had a bone to pick with him or something. He came out pretty publicly against some of those organization and unionizing for higher wages things a little while ago. But we had to kind of abandon that line of inquiry because we couldn't run down all the people who resented him on that front. He was not popular amongst his grad students. We talked to about, off the top of my head, 30 of them, and they all held grudges.
Well, I'm hoping to maybe get some information from one of them about, what he was working on, what his sources were. I know some college students here might be able to.
Well, listen, you keep my head. I can give you something, but it's unofficial. It's not backed up by probable cause. So you need to keep my name out of it.
Gotcha.
there was one guy he wasn't an adjunct. He was applying to be one who rubbed me wrong, namely because he withdrew his application to the college after Kevin's death. And you know what it's like when you talk to a guy and he's smart and his eyes seem like they're looking right past you and he can see everything.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're in a room with a guy. And let me tell you this, man, 99% of people I interrogate, 99% of people I talk to, I feel like the big dog in the room. Whether I'm in public, private, got him in an interview room or something. This guy, I wanted to get out of that room as soon as I could. I felt like he could end me. I don't know how, but it's like he knew he could, and he was damn confident that he could get through me if he needed to leave. It was creepy. And get this. I've tried to keep tabs on the guy, right? Because I'm not going to lie, he gave me like a major serial killer vibe. He drops off the frickin' map about a month ago.
It's Jason. What's his name?
What did he look like?
Oh, yeah, about 6 feet even, sandy brown hair, pretty good looking dude, except he had like shark's eyes. Like, how a guy from Jaws is like, he had doll's eyes, roll back with blood. He had those kind of eyes, totally empty.
What's his name?
What was his name?
That was Jason Grayson, Chief.
All right. Yeah.
If I would look at anybody, I'd look at that guy. Like I said, he gave me the creeps.
That makes sense.
You know what? I knew it. Hey, you be careful with that dude, okay?
I will. Hey,
I have a good sixth sense for this stuff. It's like I told my supervising when we were investigating that shit. That dude has a body count.
yeah.
And that's just a hunch, but I know.
All right. I appreciate your help.
Yeah, of course, man. Nail this sucker, huh?
We're going to try.
They kill the good ones. It makes communities worse, and it sucks when we can't solve it. People feel unsafe.
Yeah. Well, we're doing what we can. I'll let you know if we're able to do anything to maybe help you sleep better at night.
Thank you. And be safe. And if you
Sure.
find, and of course, if you find anything that helps me put some closure on this, I got a community down here who they'd love it, frankly.
All right. I'll do what I can. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, that sounds completely like Jason. Killing him in a poetic way, taking out his eyes and his tongue so he can't see what he was researching how to recover the text.
And then what if he got it back and Fred Powers got it first?
Well, I think Fred hadn't stolen the text yet from Jason because Jason killed him right then and there. They're in the same city. I'm thinking because Jason had to steal a bunch of text to get the information he wanted. This professor was learning how to track down stolen texts, and Jason killed him before he was able to share that information. But Fred Power got that information, so he knew how to cover his tracks better when he stole the text from Jason. That's my guess.
Okay, so here's the issue. We still have to figure out how to kill good old Fred.
We just need a time and a place. It's not going to be hard to kill him. He's not a dragon. He's a wizard. It just depends on how messy we want to get and how low-key we want it to be. Since we're working for the police trying to solve murders, we probably shouldn't, create more for them. Of course, if they hire to investigate our own murder we did, it would be a lot easier to solve. We keep them off the track. Let me think.
What if we? Okay. This is weird, but it seems like it would be kind of straightforward. What if we find him before? Because we've got a couple days to prepare for his thing. We find him before and talk to him a little bit. We have Janessa put together some sort of like slow enough acting, but fast enough acting that it'll be effective poison that would like leave his system. She could probably do something like that. She's putting together weird shit that's like trans-dimensional chemistry.
I'm not sure she is anymore.
Is she still just babbling somewhere? Do we have her back at the foundry? Is she still just broken?
Did you see what Michael did at the end of last session?
Yeah, you haven't heard from her in a little while.
Great. Okay, well, we can just call her and ask her and see if she's not babbling. Maybe we can figure something out to do that. So yeah, but no, Edith wouldn't know that. Edith wouldn't know what you did unless you told her.
Yeah. So the Russian mob might have found out that she double crossed them.
Why would they have found that out, Mike?
They have plenty of sources of information.
Why do you know that information?
Because I was there when all that came out.
Information about her. I'm gonna call her.
Okay. There's no answer.
Oh, Mike! We don't kill unnecessary people.
I didn't kill her.
We don't put the Russian bomb out to hit unnecessary people.
I
Sorry, Rose.
didn't hire a hitter or anything.
Mike, that is a fine line. So what then if we don't have her help? I mean, we can't exactly, shoot him in front of his whole lecture. That's not going to work.
Hold on. We don't know that she's dead yet. Maybe we can whisk her away to some undisclosed location. Mike, does the church have a safe undisclosed location?
They have plenty, but they're probably not going to use it for a woman who was working with the Russian mob to sell drugs to teenagers and do experiments on teenagers without completely with uninformed consent.
All psychology is uninformed consent. That's why they have you sign the stupid form.
That makes it informed consent.
No, they don't tell you what they're doing.
Any good psychologist, any ethical psychologist will actually inform you what's going on.
That is not how psychology has worked for a century.
Burp. Burp.
Whose phone is buzzing?
Yours.
Okay, I answer it. Who is it? Hello?
How did you get this number?
Is this Janessa?
How do you know my name?
I have your number. You gave me your number.
Who are you?
Where are you? I will come find you and take you to a nice.
No. That's what they all say. That's what they say in my head and outside of my head. That's what they all say. And then they come find me, and some of them try to shoot at me, and some of them try to eat me, and some of them don't exist at all. No.
Okay,
I'm hip to your games.
No.
To your games. Who is this?
This is Edith. Remember Edith? You helped me pass my last class so that I could graduate college.
That was real.
Huh?
That was real?
Yes.
That actually happened.
Put it on speaker.
Yes, it did.
Oh, thank God. Okay, give me one moment. I'm keeping track of what is real and what isn't. That was real. Unless you're trying to trick me. Unless you're just a figment of my imagination trying to tell me something is real that isn't real.
I'm not. Mike, say hello in a threatening manner because you hate her.
Hello?
See, that's Mike. He hates you and wishes you were dead.
The gang's all here. All here. Either the gang is real or the gang is all figments of my imagination, and I am going further insane.
Rose, say something calming.
Hi, it's Rose. You're not going crazy, and the gang's not all here. So if we were figments, wouldn't you put the whole gang here?
How is the strange, very serious boy?
He's
Sleeping?
okay.
Better.
I think.
Ah, yes. As I recall, he was deeply troubled, but that also might be a figment of my imagination. I have a very good imagination.
No, you made it worse. Actually, you made it worse.
Sounds like me.
Have you been using any of your drugs?
No. I stared at the thing, and then everything went sideways. And then I went through a whole bunch of stuff, and I saw a whole bunch of stuff, and I killed a whole bunch of stuff, and I ate a whole bunch of stuff, and I ran around, and I found myself, and then I found myself again, and then I found another piece of myself, and now I'm
While-
here trying to
while
piece
she's
together
just
what is
continuing
true and what is
While she's
not.
continuing to talk, I just put her on mute for a second, and I'm like, "So, Mike, while you were dead, she actually just stared at the Fey god that was over here, and I think it broke her brain a little bit. So, she's a liability running around, and we should go find her."
Before the Russian mob.
Can we trace her phone?
I was gonna say, could you do that? Because I didn't.
I'll try it.
And I
We got her phone number. I'll try.
unmuted. Hey, Janessa?
Yes, that is me. That is ostensibly my name.
Good girl. It is your name.
That's what they want you to think.
Vanessa, honey, where are you?
I do not know. The first several places that I went did not want me to be there anymore on account of I was not wearing clothes. But then I withdrew clothes from my ostensible place of origin, and now I find myself being accepted in a whole lot more locations.
Okay, the location you're in right now, could you describe it?
It is loud. There are many people imbibing various liquid alcohols that may or may not be real.
You're at a bar.
Yes,
Okay, there's a bartender nearby. Ask the bartender what the bar is called.
I'm not sure he's real.
Tap him on the
Ask the
shoulder.
not
If
real
he
one.
turns to you,
He's very, very large and has a beard down to his nipples, but also has a tattoo of Mickey Mouse on his bicep. That is
That's
not
very-
something anyone with a beard down to their nipples would tattoo on them. He's a figment of my imagination, a hallucination from the ether of my mind. In fact,
Hey,
it is very possible he might be a spectral
Janessa.
apparition trying to hurt me.
Janessa.
What kind of music is playing in the background? I'm just listening. She's on speaker, so what?
Some kind of like honky tonk.
Okay,
She'd
I
narrow it down in Wellport. Somewhat.
Janessa to pass the phone to the person sitting next to her
Why?
so that
Just-
I can ask them where the bar is.
But then I won't have my phone.
They will
Just-
give it back to you.
He will have my phone.
Or
Just hold it in front of him, asking where you are.
What if this is all
Read a
some
menu
psychological trick to make me surrender my phone?
Don't let go of your phone. Just ask the person next to you what bar you're in, so we can hear on the phone.
Yes. You, strange-looking gentleman wearing a wedding ring, yet in a bar alone, making poor life choices. I need you to talk to my... Wait, no. Where are you going?
Janessa, honey, is there a menu in front of you for drinks or food?
The man next to me gave me the finger and then left.
Are there any women nearby you?
There are not many women in this establishment.
Are there any?
I am looking. This was a source of great consternation and attention for me when I first arrived, but I believe I have most of the menfolk in this joint off put enough to leave me alone.
There are no women in this bar. That's weird, even for a creepy bar.
Ah, no,
Or
yes.
it's a place that
I found a
we go to
lady.
meet?
She is playing pool with a gentleman.
Okay,
She is laughing at all of his jokes, and he is teaching her how to play pool, but judging by her stance, she knows how to play pool. This is some elaborate mating ritual. A dance, if you will.
okay. Hold your phone out to her.
Give me one moment. You hear the sound of her footsteps. Then you just kind of hear her voice in the background. Don't ask questions. Speak into the phone.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello?
Hi, my friend, her name is Janessa. She is on something that she doesn't
Yeah.
remember what it is.
No shit, lady. Good
We're
God.
We're coming to get her though, and we need to know what bar she's at.
Oh, this is Orange Sunsets, the honky tonk off of Commercial and Fifth.
Okay, perfect. Is there any chance that you could involve her in your game so that we can, when we show up, she's there? I will buy your drinks for the night.
The
All of
last dude who involved her in anything, she jumped on him and bit his nose. I'm not getting anywhere near that.
We'll go quickly.
She then
Let's
screamed primally and announced to the bar that she had defeated the king of the Chads and was now therefore the queen of the Chads. And we've all just kind of been leaving her alone ever since.
Keep Jess the phone. We'll get in the car and drive.
Yep, thank you. We'll be there. Bye.
Hey, your friends are coming by.
maybe don't hang up.
Oh, well, I did.
Well, call her back. She'll call back in a few minutes, and we'll hope she'll be in the same bar.
So we
Let's
hop
go.
in the car and go to Sunset Jerry's or wherever it is.
Orange Sunset.
Orange Sunset.
Jerry sounds like a cocktail. Yeah, I'm gonna need me a Sunset Jerry on the rocks. All right, you arrive to a very interesting scene. A whole bunch of people trying to avert their eyes to like the front of the location very conspicuously, while Janessa, wearing a raincoat and gray sweatpants and nothing else, appears to be delivering an interpretive sort of dance theater sort of thing for Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody on the karaoke stage. And folks are just desperately uncomfortable by this whole thing.
Great.
Edith,
Okay.
maybe you could get
You
her
try to
down?
get out of here peacefully. I'll just, if that doesn't work, I'm going to grab her and force her into the car.
All right, Rose. One of us on either arm. Let's do this.
Kind of scoop up an arm.
No, I cannot leave yet.
Yes, you
can.
can't.
I
Actually,
need to tell the good people that I've done all right up till now, but the light of the day must show me how.
Janessa,
Oh, you can in our car.
The loneliness calls.
is she like resisting us or is she just like
No, she's just kind of quivering and babbling.
Okay, cool. We'll just let her continue talking as we walk out to the car.
And you exit the bar to her screeching that she wants to feel the heat.
Can I take a quick look around and I don't know, roll probably
Yes,
with
me,
bad
whatever you want.
position, just to make sure that there's nobody either from the mob, Mike, or any of Jason's people around. Not
It's a
that
pretty like collegey crowd, but not the moneyed college students. You don't see anyone you recognize from those circles. You see a couple of people that you're pretty sure you've had a class with like once. No one you like know, but
Cool. Okay, so no imminent danger or we're being followed.
doesn't look like it.
Cool. Into the vehicle. Here you go, Janessa. And back to the hideout? Yes.
Yeah.
Because we don't
Yes,
have any
I'm
place
once
to
again
put her at
mobile.
the house.
I'm once again mobile. I'm in a vehicle. Have I conjured a vehicle of my own mind, or am I in an actual vehicle? These are the unexplained mysteries of the universe I must solve in order to anchor myself to the present.
I have a sweatshirt and I take it off and I put it on her.
I am warm.
Okay.
I don't think we want her cooking up any sort of special stuff for anybody.
Cook.
We also
Cook. I heard
don't
cook.
know-
And cook whatever you need to cook. What do you need cooked? Do you need stew cooked? Do you need soup cooked? Methamphetamine.
That's
Um,
my point.
But
Rose will kind of just pull out some headphones and put on like some quiet music and give them to her to listen to.
Oh, that's nice.
It'll be okay.
That's nice. This is very soothing. I like his voice.
it's just like Josh Groban.
Yeah, definitely some Michael Bublé.
I mean, maybe she's the kind of person who's still brilliant when she's crazy. Mike, do you want to try to assassinate somebody with a gun on a public college campus?
Done it before.
No.
I'm sorry. Wait, what?
Literally traumatize an entire group of people that are not the target.
No, I want to hear this story.
He was summoning demons. The only way to get to him. But let's not talk in front of her.
I don't think she's paying attention.
This
Yeah,
individual
Rose-
sings the Christmas music in a very pleasant pace.
I don't want to risk that.
Okay.
Let's get her back to someplace where we can leave her alone, and then we can discuss some more.
I mean, she knows where our hideout is, so we can take her there, right?
Sure.
Yeah, let's just take her to the Haven.
Okay.
I'm going to do a good route to make sure we're not being followed by anybody.
It shouldn't be hard. No, you don't see any obvious tail or any obvious.
Does she still have her cell phone?
Yes.
I'm going to toss that into the trash can along the way, which is not paying attention.
Fair enough. She wouldn't fight you on that. She's not herself.
I'm gonna just Google like the writings of Lovecraft and does the madness ever dissipate?
It depends.
Oh, it does? Oh,
In
that's
some
better
stories,
than I was
in some
expecting.
stories it's treatable, in some stories it isn't. In some stories it's a simplistic and untrue to modern science take on mental illness and the damage of trauma.
Keep in mind, too, she might have been experimenting with drugs, and that could have set her up for long-term failure and
It
or
is a
success.
fair to decent assumption that if there was something wrong with her, she would try to medicate herself.
Also, it is a fair to decent assumption that she would try her own shit if she couldn't figure out how to find someone to test it soon enough.
Rose
Which-
will just sit with her and keep her calm in the back seat.
That could make her mind fragile, or it could inoculate her against insanity. You never know.
You are nice. I'm sorry I awakened the spirit of a dormant god in your boyfriend.
It's okay. I've forgiven you for that. We're okay now.
It was not my intention. It was pretty baller.
We have different definitions of that word. Just listen to the music and she'll turn it up just a little.
Okay, so no poison. Okay, so we have to kill him, but it would be nice to know what he knows because maybe it would be nice to know what he knows.
I mean, like
Well-
half of Wheelport's lecturers end up going to bars and dinner and drinks and stuff before and after their lectures. We could easily catch him outside the lecture.
Well, let's get her. Are we at the Haven yet?
Yeah, sure.
We set her off in a room by herself so we can talk privately.
And lock it.
May I still listen to the pleasantly voiced man singing the Christmas songs?
Of course.
Thank you.
And Edith gets like a charging station so that she can just.
And she just lays back on like a cot in repose and just stares at the ceiling, listening to the music.
Now, if
Oh
we
boy.
want to capture him alive, I could just be waiting for him at his house when he gets back.
Okay. I mean, what if he takes out your eyes and your tongue?
That was Jason, but not him. And I would jump and knock him into unconsciousness before he had a chance to do anything. Tie him up, make sure he's not able to use his hands or mouth. Not effectively enough to cast any spells. Check with Rory to make sure what I'm thinking is right. But I think if he's gagged, he can still communicate, but not be able to cast any actual spells. And then we can make him talk.
Are we going to torture him?
Depends on how cooperative he is.
Where's regular Tom, by the way?
He has pretty much been glued to the only surviving couch, like in sweats blowing his nose every 5 seconds and just chugging Dayquil out of the bottle. Hey guys, what's going on?
This supernatural god cold thing is
It's
fun
Victor.
fact. Also an analogy for DM's health this last week.
Edith,
But
have you ever been so sick you wanted to die? Because
no.
I don't think I'm there yet. But I can see how some people have been so sick they wanted to die.
Okay.
I will just want to feel better. I will never ask for anything ever again. Nothing. I just want to feel better than I feel right now. I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Oh God, that hurt.
Okay. Well, on that note,
Rose, why does everything hurt?
You're gonna be okay. Don't
My
worry.
joints hurt. My head
Rose,
hurts. My nose
you don't
hurts.
know that. He might die.
Hey, he's gonna be fine. I'll make him some tea. It'll be okay.
Rose, is this gonna kill me?
No, lay
Oh, I
down
wanted
and
to
just.
die doing something cool. I don't want to die like this.
You're gonna be fine. You're okay. Just lay down.
Okay. Ugh. Why would people go to
She'll go
work
make-
like this? You just
She makes him like tea and some soup and comes back a few minutes later.
oh yeah, and he's just mainlining that stuff. Poor guy's miserable.
I feel like this might be a good moment for our break.
It's a good time for break.
Especially because I'm like, I don't know. That was my good idea. We poisoned him.
Yeah,
Karen
that was
was
a good idea.
It's a good time for break.
All right.
So,
We
we break.
Boom. Okay. Thank you. Between Bill and Elle, do you guys have a preference on who goes first?
Would you mind going first?
Sure, certainly.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, welcome to our break, everybody. Stick around, throw your name in the comments so that when Elle comes back, we can draw your name for a fancy prize, and then stick around and give us your contact information so we can give it to you. We want to give you free things. This is a thing that we want to do. But meanwhile, Bill has some cool projects that he's working on.
Yes, I'm working on. So my big life game is Dungeons and Dragons. That's what I've been playing since before any of the cast here were
Take a
alive.
time.
And I have my own company, OTP Games, and currently I'm working on a project with Elle. If any of you are familiar with the book, the Deck of Many Things, we're creating a deck. Okay, I'm trying to do this.
It worked last
It's-
time.
Yeah, it's a different deck of different effects, and
Ooh.
Is it?
There we go. Yep, it is.
Okay, and there. So are you seeing the screen now?
Let me put it in.
Okay, there we go. And these are cards like the Deck of Many Things, but different cards with different effects. Elle is on the artwork for these.
Love it.
This is from the second book, second supplement I'm bringing out soon. If you go to otpgames.com, that's Old Testament Paladin, not One Trick Pony. Have a link to the first book. And I should share some of these effects at some
Love
point.
this. And if you guys want to find his information, all of our links for all this stuff is in our bios. If you head on over to Twitch to find us, you can scroll down below where the video is, find our bios, and if you click on them, you will be taken directly to our website. Cool. Thank you so much. And those are ready. Those are in draft mode, right?
Correct. Those are all the cards that are done. There's a couple more, and they'll all be finished. So
That is cool. All right. So everybody be ready to pre-order soon. All right. Next, we have the lovely Elle, who has many things going on. There we go. Oh, no. You're still muted, hon. You're right
Every time. Every other time. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So we have so much going on. To start, if you want to be a part of the giveaway, be sure to say, hey, hello, anything really in the chat so that you can be entered to be a part of the giveaway. We're very excited because we're giving away this beautiful, oh my God, the glare hates this blue. Vox Machina Critical Role. It's issue 3 of series 3, which is apparently they had multiple seasons, series, not seasons. I mean, we all know they had multiple seasons. But we're giving away that beautiful comic book courtesy of Escape Velocity Comics here in the Springs. They're an awesome little game and comic shop in downtown Colorado Springs. They've got some cool stuff going on, so if you want to find out about them, just head over to Facebook and type out Escape Velocity Comics. Otherwise, we'll throw up a link here soon. Other than that, we've got all sorts of cool stuff going on. I mean, Chloe, I believe we have a super cute little shop.
We do. We do. If you scroll down and you click on Loot, you can find our little shop where you can get Felton University stuff and you can get cute little stickers and there's mugs and I think that's it. It hasn't changed for a little while. I should change that because I've got other designs all cute and
I
everything.
know I have stuff on the back burner. I keep forgetting to send over.
But yeah, that's there.
Yeah. So we've got, let's see, I'm going through my little list in my head. Okay, we did Uncanny Curry.
You have a store of your
I have
own.
a store. I have a little store called Fateful Designs. I make all sorts of cool stickers. I do holographic stuff. I do not. It's all sorts of D&D, witchy, kind of Marvel fandom stuff. So if you're into any of that, feel free to check it out. I'll post a link up here soon. I don't have anything crazy going on. I mean, I just released a new sticker, which if you're a fan of The Office, it's an Office reference. So that's super fun. Let's see. I think that might be everything. I think we'll give people maybe a few more minutes if they want to remember to be entered. Comment, hey, hello, tell us your favorite color, your name, anything, just so that you can be counted in the chat. And then please stick around for a few minutes so that I can get your information.
Yep. So fun story for all you Office fans. I started watching The Patient, which is Steve Carell's new TV show on FX. And it's super weird because every time I see him, I still see Michael. But this is like a really, really depressing drama where Steve Carell plays like a psychologist who gets kidnapped by a client of his who has a compulsion to murder people.
Wow. So you just keep picturing him going into Michael Scott mode and being like, that's what she said.
Yes, but he's not, because he's trapped in the basement of somebody
Right.
who's a murder killer, who's like, you need to fix me, Mr. Psychology Man. And Steve Carell is like, that is
That's what she said.
not how psychology works. That's what she said.
Look, me and Lord of the Rings fan are going for Halloween as Jim and Dwight. So, Chloe, what I'm hearing is we need you to be a part of this as well.
I will kidnap both of you and chain
Okay,
you.
perfect.
Yes,
That
that will.
was not the role I thought you were going to take. I thought you were going to be like, oh my God, I'll be Michael. But it's okay. You went a different route and we're here for
It's
it.
going to be a genre crossing
Genre
costume
crossing.
there.
I'm
tied
here for
together with Steve Carell. That's
perfect.
the link. No one will get it.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, do you have anything you'd like to talk about, Chloe?
So for September, for Read Watch Event, which happens the last Thursday of the month, usually, although occasionally it's the first Thursday of the month, we are doing The Sandman. So the show has been out for a while. Everybody should have time to finish it. And we're just doing the first comic. But we will read the comic and watch the show and discuss all of that. And then for October, we are doing Interview with a Vampire. So that should be fun. We'll do the new TV show, the movie from the 90s, and the book because, we'll just do the trifecta. Consume whatever of that you feel like, and then join us on the last Thursday of the month for these things.
Heck yeah.
And I think that might be where we're at. I see 2 other people lurking in our chat room. So if you want to be in, huh?
I was gonna say maybe we could give them just a minute, and Elle will run to the bathroom super quick and then do the drawing.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And while Elle does that, we will give everybody movie recommendations. How's that? All right, I'm popping everybody back in so we can be entertaining because I don't have a
I'm
video.
always entertaining.
You're up.
League of Super Pets or whatever it is with Crypto and Batman's dog. Hilarious.
Love it when kids' movies really bring the comedy. I think the last kids' movie we went to go see was Sing 2.
Keanu Reeves as Batman is something I owe it to myself to see.
It was funny. He was good.
Is he Batman in there? Oh my gosh. Okay, that sounds amazing. DM real fast. Movie suggestion, go.
I mean, I've been going through for the sake of my own inspiration. I have been just kind of going through a lot of the like classic scripts of the past that I really enjoy, like rewatching the Aliens movies, Predator movies, Ghostbusters, all that, and it's been fun. I can't lie. There's a reason they call it the classics.
This is true. All right. Well, I see we have an L back. Boop, 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 boop.
We do.
Hello.
A wild L appeared.
Catch up.
Well, it does look like I only have 2 entries for our giveaway. And I just checked, and that's why I had to really disappear for just a minute. But I've been authorized to give away 1 to each of our wonderful entries.
This is why you stick around, people.
I was going to say, congrats, Lord of the Rings fan and Lady Hawk. Be sure to message me. Lord of the Rings fan, don't be sassy because I know you're on the couch. But be sure to send me your guys' contact information and I will make sure to get these out to you as soon as possible. This is another reason, though, if you're still wishing you could win a Vox Machina issue 3 of series 3, be sure to stick around because I'm sure I can get more for future giveaways.
Woo! Brilliant. Yes, this is a thing because we love Escape Philosophy comics and they like us. So we now have free stuff for you guys.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think we are ready to get to the end of our mystery of, I don't know.
Get to the end of the start.
The end of the start.
End of the beginning.
I'm like over in the corner. Okay. So one thing that Edith would actually like to do, since it is becoming apparent that it is truly impossible to avoid magic in all of its things. She's going to be like in the corner, like with one of Rory's books, just like trying to make heads or tails of whatever the hell this is. It's probably not going to do any good. And she's aware of that because she has -1 weird and that will never change. So probably not going to do any good, but that's what she's doing with her time.
You can roll for sharp.
For sharp, for investigating a mystery, for seeing if I can find anything useful in these books.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Oh, well, that was 2 1s. So, nope, I find nothing. Edith continues to not have any useful magical knowledge.
It's like Greek to you, except it's not. You do know that it's not in Greek.
I do know that it's not in Greek. Okay, smarty pants.
Now, can we find out where this Fred Power guy lives in Weldport?
Say again.
Do we know where Fred Power lives in Weldport?
You can guess you can probably guess the hotel he's staying at. It's probably the Royal nearby the university. It's the closest nice hotel to it.
Is he married to a Daphne and is their best friend Velma and Shaggy?
What?
Who named him Fred?
Yes, I did. People are named Fred.
No, only that person is named Fred. That's
Only
it.
one
I mean-
person in the whole universe is allowed.
Fred Jones is not the only Fred.
Oh my god, is his middle name Jones?
Yeah, glorious a son of a bitch though he is not the only Fred.
Fred Jones Powers.
Fred
This
Flintstone.
really checks out.
Right?
Yeah.
You guys are making me want to kill him less and less, so
I did not intend to put an ascot on this guy, but now I'm tempted. You're gonna meet him, he's gonna be like, golly gee, gang, we've got ourselves, here's a mystery. It looks like somebody magically gouged his eyes out and cut out his tongue with a rusty spork. We're dealing with one sick son of a bitch. Right, Scoob?
And Rose will
Bitch.
Now, if he's staying in a hotel, it's harder to interrogate him intensely. If he makes a lot of noise, it's going to attract attention.
Doesn't terrible things happen in hotels all the time? Like, couldn't we just open the door, be in latex, and be like, it's a sex thing, don't ask about it?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to enough true crime to tell you that almost everying shady happens in a hotel.
Are you looking for an excuse to go buy a bunch of latex?
American Horror Story meets porn, huh?
No, I'm just saying, if we make it so awkward that nobody wants to investigate what's happening, then we win.
Edith
Okay.
has a perfectly good strategy, and it makes a lot of sense.
I had a better strategy, but we now can't poison him.
Is that what you're going with?
Will's just gonna go tend to Thomas and Janessa for a few minutes.
I can
Seriously?
probably get a hold of some scopolamine.
I was gonna
That'll
say,
make us-
if y'all want to do this, if y'all want to rock this latex bodysuit style, I got a drink at break. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Well, wait, hold on. I have a question. Is our intent to try to kill him before Rory gets back, or is our intent to wait?
Let's wait for Rory on this. And we don't even, I mean, we do want to kill him, but that's not, the reason we have to get hold of him is to find out where the book is, get the book back.
Right.
The book has to be near him. He didn't, I can't believe he doesn't have the book somewhere near him at all times, or at least in a secure place in the hotel room, or if the hotel has a safe, he might possibly leave it there. Like not like a room safe, but if it has a serious safe in the lobby or the reception area, you possibly drop off a package. Or
What if we steal some housekeeping uniforms and just get into his room and take a look and see if, I mean, maybe it is in his hotel safe.
That's really not a bad.
shouldn't be
Edith
hard
and
to
I
do.
yeah.
What? I think we all talked at the same time and it cut us out.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
You first, Mike.
It shouldn't be hard to get hotel uniforms. We go walk to the hotel, see what uniforms they wear. We can go pick those up pretty easily. I can make the badges they wear. I have equipment to do that. It's not that hard. Doesn't matter getting pass keys, which if we get a few minutes behind the counter, I can make pass keys for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah,
We find
we
out
could
who's
do that.
working the desk. Either bribe, blackmail, sweet talk. Whoever's working the desk.
Wait a minute. Rose knows everybody. Can we have Rose roll to see if she has a friend who works at the front desk of this hotel?
I know everybody.
She
Yes.
does.
Okay. What would this be?
Roll a charm.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly what we love to see. Okay, 9 plus 3, a 12.
Whew.
Yeah, you know Jenny from your freshman college improv theater class, which was a humanities prerequisite, who you stayed in touch with because she threw a really great party in the freshman dorms and treated everybody with a lot of respect. You know that she does part-time work at the front desk, and you and her are cool. Not
Jenny
besties,
Brady?
so to say, but cool.
Definitely. I can call her up, see what we can do.
Well, we need to approach this carefully. If she gives you a key to his room and then he turns up decapitated the next day, might put a strain on your relationship.
Are we gonna decapitate him, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Just
a
saying,
pretty horrible,
things happen.
gruesome way to leave.
Is there not a
Possible.
natural way that we can just induce a heart attack?
We have to prepare for, if not worst case, like a bad scenario. If he
Well,
starts slinging
what if
spells, I'm going to put
I-
rounds into him.
I mean, we could go the maid route still, and I could just ask Jenny if I could shadow someone at work. Study course.
Let's.
I was thinking that we like break into his room and see what's there before we kill him, like just so that we can like scope it out. I was not thinking this would be the end all and be all of our plan.
Yeah, I'm just saying we need to be careful what we ask for and how we ask her. If no matter what happens, this professor's going to have something important stolen from him and make us think about it, and or end up dead. And your friend's going to put two and two together. She's not going to just say, "Wow, that's weird. I gave Rose a key, and that same within a few hours, one of the guests died."
I mean,
that.
if she gave me a key, do we have the tech on our side to just make it a master key? Like
She
if
can do
I
that from
just
the
got her
front
to
desk.
give me a key?
The front desk. I'm assuming this is a modern hotel with a key,
Very modern.
with a card reader. The machine can. Now, there's also going to be, if she makes a copy of a key, there'll probably be a record of that in the computer.
Well, what if we just get a key to a random room instead of his and then change it to a master?
The machine will still register that, but it's not. What we can also do is just
Okay.
once he leaves, it doesn't have to be her. If you walk to the front desk, it have to be me. Hey, I walked to the front desk in shorts and a t-shirt and slippers. I went out to get ice and left my. I got locked out of my room. Fred Powerman, room whatever. We found out what room he's in. They make us a key. That's the easiest way to get into a hotel room if you need to kill somebody or whatever.
They're gonna ask for an ID.
I mean, they might
Not if you're in your shorts and if you left your ice, you went to the room to get ice. Happens at hotels all the time.
I was gonna say
And most people aren't murdered for that.
ID.
If you give your name and room number, they'll give you a key. Especially if you make it look like you just left your room, like you're out, getting ice or something.
I mean, it's a plan.
Okay, and then we call your friend if we need backup.
Okay.
Well, we got a couple days. We want Rory there too, because Rory could actually look like him too.
If we have Rory, couldn't he just turn into Jenny and walk behind the desk on a day that she's distracted? I'll call her for coffee or something.
Yes, but he could also turn into Fred Power and ask for the key to his room, and that
That's
way there's
also
no record of anybody making a weird extra key, and your friend stays out of jail.
that's true.
Okay, so we need to wait for Rory.
Yes.
Kind of seems like.
Is there anything else you would like to do before you start to move your plans forward?
I think Rose would just spend as much time as she could helping Thomas and Janessa kind of get back to wherever they can get back to.
Janessa is finding peace staring off into space, and Thomas is just being a whiny little bitch. Just,
It's fine.
sick.
Do we know about what date that Power absconded with this book from Jason?
You can you know based on like what context you have that it was recent-ish, but not like super recent, not like
Before
a little bit.
or after Arizona?
Probably thereabouts, actually.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
If he knows that he pissed off Jason, and he knows that Jason knows that this is his home base, he's got to have some sort of defense mechanism set up here. Because why would he come back here with the most valuable thing he has without some sort of defense mechanism? And if he's got a defense mechanism for Jason, how are we going to make sure that doesn't like just snap us in half? Okay, so his house, he lives in Bellevue. Is that what you said, DM?
Mm-hmm.
Can we go visit his house? He's not there.
Yes.
We should dress up because if there's anyone there, they'll expect someone from high society.
We could go in as maids.
Like cold calling maids? How does that work?
No, as his maids. There's 3 of us. We'll be the butler team, the interim butler team who were hired to clean his house right before he got home. And you can just pick the lock and get in. And if anybody asks what we're doing there, we'll say we're cleaning.
It's not a terrible idea. We'll rent a van, get some cleaning supplies.
Does the church not have just a nondescript cleaning van?
They probably do.
Yeah.
They probably do, to be honest.
So we'll borrow that and make sure we have vacuums and a bunch of cleaning gear and all that. We'll be wearing rubber gloves since we're cleaning. That makes things easier.
All right. Off we go to Fred Power's house.
Okay. You arrive. It's a bit of a drive, a couple hours, but
Any sign of habitation?
not totally dark. It's a nice house, ranch style, about 2,800 square. Nice long driveway, big yard. Nothing in the back, but nice front yard. Looks like there might be a pool back there on like a paved over sort of granite setup. Nice house.
Okay. Does it look like there's any sort of security system?
There almost certainly is. Mike has enough common sense to know that. You don't even need to roll for it.
Is it something we can see?
No. I mean, you can locate some cameras in the ring, but you know there's got to be more to it. House this nice.
There's also going to be magical.
Stands to reason.
But
Rose, do you have any like juju left from Thomas? Is there any way you can sense if there's any wards that we should scuff?
I could try.
She can try. She can roll weird.
Okay. I could probably try.
11?
11.
There's definitely something on the place, but, and this is a little strange, you can't immediately judge it to be like harmful. Like it's going to hurt you or damage you or curse you. It doesn't feel hostile. It doesn't feel like that inky sort of toxic feeling of what you've experienced as black magic, but there is something.
I don't know that it's damaging, more like alerting, maybe?
that makes sense. I could pick the lock. We could get in, punch a code in the security system. It wouldn't work. They would call a phone at the house probably. We'd pick up, say, hey, we're the cleaning crew. This is the code we were given. The cops will come out. We can try and bluff our way That's the easiest way around the security system.
Or you could be gone. You know that there's going to be a 10 to 20 minute response time in this neighborhood.
Could be quick.
If we
But what
if we
about-
can't find it in 10 minutes, we can then make a decision. Give ourselves 10 minutes. If we haven't made the decision, if we haven't found anything yet, we can stake around, try to bluff the cops. They'll send one cop. If we have to, we can overpower him.
I was gonna
Well,
say,
I'll
can you
learn.
just call your friend and tell him to stall the cop?
We don't want to do that. That's pulling too many.
Also, it might not work. He might not be able to reach out to another city and delay. Like that's actually a pretty big lift.
And that taints their investigation too.
No.
Anything we find, they can't. That would throw all the evidence.
All right, so 20-minute investigation. We split
10
up.
minutes. We have 10 minutes, and if we do get caught, just come out in the open and say, "Hey, we're here to clean." So make sure we unload some cleaning stuff.
Actually, could we just say, I have nothing to say. I want my attorney?
They're not going to leave us then. There's a chance if we convince them that we're here cleaning the house and we haven't torn apart everything, and they talk to the security agency and we come up with a good, if we can convince them that, hey, we're here just cleaning the house like we were hired to do, and there's a snafu.
Okay, hold on. I want to Google really quick. Does what's-his-face Powers have a mom?
Oh boy. Roll sharp.
To be like, we were sent by his mom and she gave us the wrong food. Okay, 6. Oh no, now we're involving someone else. Well, that is a 11.
Oh, he has a mother, all right. A very, very famous, very, very insane, like reality television show celebrity, who had a very like wide and prosperous career on some trashy network for being a supremely dramatic housewife amongst the rich and powerful. But all that went to hell when she ended up going to jail for the attempted ritual murder of her third husband.
It
Okay.
sounds plausible that she would hire a cleaning crew and give them the wrong code.
But then what if we? Okay, yeah. I mean, hopefully she's not magic and she doesn't know who we are, and so she won't come back to bite us.
We'll make fake IDs for everybody before we leave. Memorize your name, your social security number, your date of birth, and your.
We're
And
already here.
We're giving you fake IDs. When your fake ID, memorize your name, social security number, date of birth, and your zodiac sign.
If they show up, I'd be happy to talk.
No, you wouldn't. Don't talk to the cops.
We're not.
I just mean distract while you guys finish up what you got to finish up.
Okay.
I don't want to be the only one talking to them, but I could distract them for a few extra minutes.
That actually would look pretty good if we continue going about our business while you talk to them. So it shows that we're not concerned because we're not doing anything wrong.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
I'll see
Sounds
you
good.
on the lower floor, or at least close to the entrance.
All right. So we go in.
Okay. Nice place, y'all. Nice place. And he has converted everything you can imagine into a bookshelf. Like this place is a bibliophiles, to be frank, very, very naughty fantasy. It is everywhere. The theme of decor here is bound paper.
Okay, if this is a valuable, first I'm going to go over and plug in a code into the. Can I find the code?
Yeah, what code do you plug in?
It's
Just a pad by the door.
118456.
Okay. That is not it, but yes.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
know the code?
No, but we have to know what we say the code. They told us the code 118456. That's the code we were told was the right code. If this is a valuable book, it will not be in a room that has windows. The sunlight will damage the book. So we'll start our search in a room that doesn't have windows. Rose, you stay near the front. Be ready to answer the phone when they call. Be ready to talk to the police when they come. We're going to try to get to there as quick as can. Bring in a bunch of cleaning gear so it looks like we're actually cleaning.
I have a quick question for the game
Go
master.
ahead.
Can Rose super quick Google the name of a local cleaning company that would make sense to have been hired for this upscale home? Like
Sure.
Google reviews. A
Call it-
rich person's cleaning company.
I
Yeah,
was
call
thinking-
it clean on the quick mobile maid service.
And Thomas does this kind of stuff, regularly, so he would have badges printed up for everybody.
You mean Mike?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
Man,
Thomas is off somewhere
Drooling.
whining about having a cold.
Okay. So, Mike, shouldn't we be also looking for a temperature controlled room? So maybe a basement?
possibly, but it might flood. But yeah,
Rose, roll weird.
$11.
nice.
You feel the energy that you felt pulse and start to concentrate, like it's being pulled inward. And you feel right before it happens that something is about to happen.
She'll like yell out a warning for everybody.
I'm gonna try to kind of step in front of the girls, whatever it is. I don't know where it's coming from.
Are we all still? We're all still at the front.
Yep,
It was like right as we walked in.
that's fine. A loud pop and a flash of light. And there he stands in front of you in polo and slacks, glasses, looking disheveled. And he speaks. You're too late. By the time you come here, by the time you're brave enough to come through that door, I'll have done it already. You'll never find it. I'll have given it to people who can do with it what you wish you could. Surprise. It's been me from the beginning. I know what you want. I know what you're trying to do, and I'm going to stop it. It was a mistake to let me get close. You'll never see the book again. Do what you want with my house. Do what you want with my things. Do what you want with my family. Do what you want with my friends. You will never get what you want. And as for me, I'm hiding in plain sight, Jason. I'm in public every day. I'm not running from you. If you want to do to me what you did to Kevin, you're going to have to do it in front of people. With everybody watching, we'll see how brave you are. Come and get it. Come and get me. Flash of light, and it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely starting to wonder if we shouldn't have made a deal with all of the other guys to help us kill Jason.
Kind of starting to feel like maybe murder is not the way we want to go on this.
Yeah.
We have to, though, because otherwise Mike dies.
Do we have to kill him? Or we have to get the book back, right?
We just have to get the book.
We should at least have a sit down with him.
Okay, well,
I don't think he's bluffing, so let's get back in the van and get out of here.
or we could see if there's anything useful here.
If what he's saying is true, he might be able to just give us the information when we talk to him.
We'll just decline to tell him that Jason is watching everything from your head. Okay.
He may or may not be. Depends on.
I guess back. I mean, shouldn't we at least, we're here, shouldn't we at least look around and see if there's anything useful?
Not if there's a low chance of success and complications with police. Let's load everything up and get out of here. We only have a few more minutes left for the show up.
While they're doing the load up, Edith is not going to help load up. Edith is going to walk around the house.
When I go off to do my own thing, I get told I'm a murderer and stuff.
I don't know. So I guess I'm rolling sharp to just be like, is there anything useful in here? Doing a quick investigation. 8.
There's a lot of stuff in here.
Mhm.
Like there's valuable and interesting stuff, but finding relevant stuff in this morass, like this dude has books stacked to the ceiling on borderline every surface. Like you're just, it's not going to happen.
And it doesn't look organized at all.
He has a system. What that system is, it would take you time to discern.
Okay. Well, there's one more thing that I would like to specifically look for while we're in this, since it is a room full of big magic books. I would like to look and see if there's anything that appears to be related to like dragons or Ireland or anything like that, so I could bring it back for Rory as like a peace offering.
Yeah, you can find some texts. They look pretty generic, like mythology texts and whatnot, but like it wouldn't be hard to find like a mythology, like his mythology shelves and find a couple of things on dragons.
I'll just grab a couple old things. I rolled a 7. It wouldn't have been a useful book anyway.
Yeah,
And then-
you can just grab a couple. Here's the thing: if he's got them, they're probably rare at least. So maybe
Cool.
maybe they're valuable.
Cool. So we go back.
Thanks for your help, Edith.
You know what? I was being thorough.
All right, y'all, and I think that's our session for tonight. Kind of need the whole group together to go to this next story beat.
Well,
I would prefer to have the whole group together to go to this next story beat. It's important.
cool. So fingers crossed, everybody. Everybody's healthy next week.
Healthy enough.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Whether you are watching us live or whether you are watching us recorded. If you have missed episodes, please visit our YouTube channel because the YouTube channel has everything archived. I know Twitch does sort of purge things after every like couple months. So yeah, we will see you guys next Tuesday and the adventure will continue.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you for coming.